Good morning, and a warm welcome to your show, Sunny Mornings, Ocean Beach. I'm your host, Melissa, and it's Friday, May 1st. You'll be interested to know, 175 years ago, today, in 1851, London opened the first great international exposition in a dazzling Crystal Palace, showcasing industrial innovation, fine arts, and inventions from around the world. The gathering celebrated human creativity and technological progress, setting a global model for cultural exchange and inspiring future public exhibitions and universal curiosity. So now you know. And now, it's time for the Surf Report. Friday at Ocean Beach. This morning it's looking choppy with waves at 3 to 5 feet. Conditions will stay choppy through the day, with winds shifting from sideshore to onshore around 8 a.m. and increasing to onshore at 15 miles per hour by 5 p.m. Expect the swell to remain consistent throughout the day. Best time to ride is at 9 a.m. with a 2-foot incoming mid-tide when the west-northwest swell is 5 feet at 8 seconds and the onshore wind is 6 miles per hour. The first low tide on Friday will be minus a half foot just before 6 a.m., followed by a 4.5-foot high tide at 1. The nearshore buoy in San Francisco Bar reads 58 degrees for the water temperature. Conditions start with choppy surf around 4 to 5 plus feet on Saturday, with west winds reaching 18 miles per hour. On Sunday, a slight improvement brings fair conditions with waves at 2 to 4 plus feet, though choppy at times. Monday sees the surf build to 5 to 7 feet, offering the best chance for cleaner faces, especially early. This morning, it's mostly cloudy, and it feels like 57 degrees, with 7 mile per hour wind. The sunset will take place at 8, and it will rise again tomorrow at 6:12. It looks like we're in for a partly sunny day, with temperatures hitting near 61, then cooling to around 59 in the afternoon, and a light west breeze, around 7 to 12 miles per hour. If you're inland, it will hit a high of 64. Tonight, expect mostly cloudy skies with a low of 54 and a moderate west wind, around 12 miles per hour. Looking ahead in the weather. This morning, it's mostly cloudy and it feels like 57 degrees with 7 mile per hour wind. The sunset will take place at 8 and it will rise again tomorrow at 6:12. It looks like we're in for some mostly cloudy skies today with a high around 60 and a mild breeze. Tonight, expect continued mostly cloudy conditions with a low of 56 and light winds picking up a bit. Bonjour, food enthusiasts. This podcast is brought to you by Versailles Cafe and Pastries in Encinitas. Nestled on El Camino Real South, just north of Encinitas Boulevard, this cafe is a haven for culinary delights. Indulge in their amazing Eggs Benedict or their gluten-free crepes. You can grab a panini for lunch or just breeze on through to get your morning coffee. They are open every day from 8 to 5. So stop on by and don't forget to tell them Sunny Morning sent you. In local news, check out the new Mosswood Recreation Center this weekend. Destroyed by fire a decade ago, the center will reopen to the public on Saturday morning. Mayor Barbara Lee, Councilmember Carroll Fife, and other officials will speak and offer tours to community members from 10 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock in the afternoon. The 2016 blaze halted preschool, arts, cooking, and inclusion programs that had been held at the facility, which first opened in 1953. The new 2-story facility includes a social hall, classrooms, a kitchen, a computer lab, a maker space, and a terrace. Now on to sports. The $13 billion World Cup is set to be the most lucrative competition in the history of sport, despite some of the 48 competing countries struggling to make ends meet. FIFA President Gianni Infantino described the event as the greatest event that humanity has ever seen. FIFA's financial report indicates that the organization expects to earn $13 billion from the 4-year cycle, with nearly $9 billion anticipated this year. In comparison, the Paris 2024 Olympics recently generated $5 billion. Further details will be revealed on Thursday as Infantino discusses FIFA's budget for 2027 to 2030. In local sports, the Giants are in free fall. They got swept in a doubleheader by Philadelphia yesterday with back-to-back walk-off losses, the first time an MLB team's been walked off twice in a doubleheader in over 20 years. San Francisco is now 0-5 against the Phillies this season and have dropped 5 of their last 6 overall, sitting at 13-19. Manager Tony Vitello acknowledged execution lapses in crucial moments, including a decision to pitch to Alec Boehm rather than walk him that backfired. Despite the rough stretch, he maintained confidence in a bullpen that's been among the league's most effective. The focus is clear: stop the bleeding before falling further behind in a crowded division. The Giants head to Tampa Bay this afternoon for the first game of a 3-game series, first pitch at 4:10. Robbie Ray takes the mound against Shane McClanahan. San Francisco's offense has been particularly quiet in recent losses, so they'll need to be aggressive early and make McClanahan work. Meanwhile, the Warriors are navigating a critical offseason. Coach Steve Kerr met with owner Joe Lacob and GM Mike Dunleavy Jr. on Monday, but no decision's been announced on whether he'll return after the play-in loss. Golden State also faces major roster questions with Kristaps Porzingis heading to free agency after battling persistent health issues. Draymond Green, Al Horford, and DeAnthony Melton all hold player options, too. In top news, you are probably paying more for insurance lately. A new analysis suggests that Americans are being overcharged by $150 billion annually for home, auto, and business insurance. This analysis, by the Vanderbilt Policy Accelerator, details how insurers are paying out less on claims than they did decades ago. In 2024, for every $1 collected in premiums, insurers reimbursed 62 cents for claims, down from an average of 80 cents in the 1980s and 1990s. Brian Shearer, Director of Competition and Regulatory, stated that the low loss ratios indicate the insurance industry is charging too much. In business news, credit expert warns borrowers about the American drain as new mortgage scoring models take effect. For millions of invisible Americans who have paid rent on time for years, but lacked a traditional credit score, the door to the American dream just swung wide open. However, one expert warns not to trip on the threshold. Following a landmark announcement from the Department of Housing and Urban Development and the Federal Housing Finance Agency to accept VantageScore 4.0 and FICO Score 10T, the mortgage industry is bracing for a surge of new applicants. Micah Smith, a leading credit repair influencer, says that while the inclusion of rent and utilities is a landmark shift, borrowers must be wary of the American drain. Smith cautions that the new models are more rigorous than many realize. He states, "People say getting a home is the American dream. I call it the American drain when you do not do it properly." The acceptance of VantageScore 4.0 represents the first major change to mortgage credit requirements in over 3 decades. In crypto movement, Bitcoin is down 3% for the week to $77,000. Ethereum is down 5% to about $2,000. And XRP is down 5% to $1.37. Moving on to a more local vibe. In our community spotlight on health and wellness, We are working with a national Pilates studio to bring you some free classes, so listen up. Check out Club Pilates, with several locations in the San Diego area. Pilates presents a comprehensive wellness approach, cultivating strength, reducing tension, and elevating mental well-being. Scientific research affirms its benefits. So now you can check out Club Pilates for a free class, with locations in Encinitas, Solana Beach, Oceanside, La Jolla, and more. Just be sure to tell them Sunny Morning sent you by. And now, back to the show. Let's talk tech. In the Musk v. Altman case, a judge warns lawyers that artificial intelligence itself is not on trial. On April 30th, 2026, in Oakland, California, tensions rose during Elon Musk's testimony against OpenAI. Musk's attorney, Stephen Molo, raised concerns about the potential for artificial intelligence to cause human extinction, prompting Judge Yvonne Gonzalez-Rogers to refocus the discussion. Rogers emphasized the trial's focus on Musk's claim that OpenAI CEO Sam Altman betrayed public trust for personal gain. This lawsuit reflects a long-standing feud between the two former associates, filled with public disputes. And in entertainment news, the follow-up to The Devil Wears Prada is arriving in theaters on Friday, with Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep, Stanley Tucci, and Emily Blunt reprising their roles 2 decades later. This long-awaited sequel follows the original, adapted from Lauren Weisberger's 2003 novel, inspired by her experiences with former Vogue editor-in-chief Anna Wintour. The first film, featuring Hathaway as aspiring journalist Andy Sachs, grossed $327 million worldwide, becoming a lasting pop culture phenomenon. Critics described the film as pretty and polished and preposterous. Well, alrighty folks, it's time for the quote of the day. And today, our quote comes from the American inventor and visionary, Thomas Edison. And he said, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration, highlighting the relentless effort behind human creativity and technological progress." And that's a wrap for this morning. You can check out our Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok for some captivating aerial videos with local news and the surf reports. Have an amazing day, my good friends. We'll see you tomorrow with another episode of Sunny Mornings, Ocean Beach.